So Angela Bofill, hey man, that's my introduction to it. Actually, it wasn't today, but I found out who she was today. But I definitely done heard the music before.
I want to say something about the song I Try. We're paying respectful homage to Angela Bofill, right? And as we do this, I did more of a little deep dive into her works. I thought I knew about her, but I did not know as much about her as I should have. 2023, we just lost her this year, but in 2023, she was just inducted into the Females Songwriter Hall of Fame, right? So I was checking her out, and I happened to stumble across an interview where she was talking about this particular song, I Try. She wrote this song when she was in high school, y'all.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And she said it's because of a heartbreak of a guy in high school.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And that's the basis. That's where I Try came from. That's why this song is, you can feel it because she was feeling that moment.
Is this the song that's being played right now?
She was literally in love.
Yeah.
She talked openly about it. She did.
Yeah, and when you think about it, it's unfortunate her and Phyllis often get confused for one another. Mm-hmm. Their careers were quite similar.
Mm-hmm. And their voices were not.
They sung of heartbreak.
Yep, they did.
And unfortunately, there were some, I think they dealt with relationships throughout their career. Now, Vinny, going back to what you were talking about, so oftentimes when you're talking about folks hitting notes and all that kind of stuff, so these are the things that we gloss over and we really don't look into. She was classically trained.
Yes,
She's
sir.
a classically trained pianist in addition to she was into opera. Mm-hmm. So those are the type things where, hey, you look at it and you don't think too much of it, but those things really are important when it comes to molding someone's career.
Yep.
Yeah. So this sister came out of the Bronx. She's from Bronx, New York.
Father from Cuba, mother from Puerto Rico.
Word up, word up.
Oh, so she was full Latino.
Oh, yeah.
She was married to country music artist Rick Vincent, too.
Later on in the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 10 years.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
They have a daughter. That's the daughter, and now she has a granddaughter, too. But
yeah, but started off with Ricardo Moreta and the group. So if you all are familiar with Dave Valentine, that was a classmate of hers. And so was Noel Pointer. Ain't that something? Violinist.
I knew about, but not Noel Pointer. Okay.
Yes. So, she went to music school. So that's why it was so, so connected where the drummer broke her heart and all this kind of stuff. It was a music school that she attended. So all of them, of course, you have things in common with
But
folks.
what, just now, I think I got the story just not completely off the mark, but so the song was about, because just the words and the feeling, the in-depthness of that track seemed like the love involved was something much deeper than what somebody you were just dating in high school could have been. But it could have been first times, type of thing.
Absolutely.
That first feeling.
And just think about it. Unfortunately, that's what soul music was. We felt that shit.
Yeah.
You feel
You
it.
felt this
shit. Versus, yes. You feel that bass right now talking?
Yeah.
You feel that
shit.
shit.
Right
just
now.
barely tapping.
And listen. But that's what the music does. It's frequencies. Mm-hmm. You could feel the pain in her voice when she's ad-libbing at the end of that song. You can feel that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it hurt. That's that pain she's saying.
That is that real shit coming out.
Real music.
Yeah, and for me, I'm glad that she made money off of that, but she is pretty much labeled for that song
For
too.
that song,
and
yep.
she had so
Many
much more.
others.
So
That's what happens.
Absolutely. So when she first came on the scene, of course, it was a jazz label backed by Arista. Salute to Larry Rosen and Dave Grusin, who started GRP. So anyway, of course, with Pamela London, one of her favorites was Don Blackman. He was on that label.
Absolutely.
Tom Brown was on that label. Bernard Wright was on that label. We had Dave Valentine. Bobby Broom was on that label. And a cat named Roland Vasquez, the Urban Ensemble.
Oh, I remember that too.
Yeah, that shit was dope, right?
Yep, yep.
And there may be a few others. Please forgive me for whoever I have forgotten. But when that label first came on the scene, you could tell they were more hands on, and it was just a very sexy, just like what Vinny was talking about. There was a Quiet Storm vibe about the stuff
Yeah,
that they
because
put
everything
out.
that dropped on GRP was a sale.
Yeah,
Right.
well, yes,
Success.
yes, it was an organic sale too. So the foul part, though, was we go to '83 where GRP and Arista split. So now all your vocal artists end up on Arista, and the other cats remain on GRP. And in my humble opinion, I think both of them lost. They did not gain the sound that they had when they were together. They gained more popularity, and they may have, had a few more bucks put in their pocket, but just sonically, the sound was not the same. And I think with Angela Bofill's career, and I can't speak for everyone, but just in my humble opinion, the few first years of her career and the latter part of her career when she had more control are the dope parts. All right, she had hits in between there. Now she did something with Johnny Mathis. She did something with she did some production with Narada Michael Walden with Too Tough.
Yeah.
The Teaser album. As a matter of fact, she had a dope ass album with the System called Let Me Be the One. That shit was dope, but it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's just unfortunate how sometimes the machine can steer an artist in the wrong way or outside of the lane that they wanted to do.
But she got a lot of writing credits too, though. Right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And the songs that she did were the doper songs. And you know what? It's kind of like if you brought a song to me, I can never sing it the way you wanted it to be conveyed.
Right.
And I think that's where she excelled. When she penned her own lyrics, you could feel it and you could dig it more, just in my personal opinion. There are others that may, I'm sure, would think differently, And at the time, they were supposed to be the original Whitney Houston. So all three of them were on the same record label.
I can see that.
Phyllis Hyman.
You know what? Phyllis Hyman.
Phyllis Hyman.
She was one of the first.
And let me give the disclaimer now. This is only an opinion.